Good afternoon, class. The lecture that today I'm going to deliver and send it to you in form of this recorded audio lecture will be centered around one of the most relevant topics that is there in your syllabus. And the topic, of course, as you can see it on the screen, is citation. The class, this particular topic, the information that will be furnished during this lecture and the knowledge that you will be gaining here is not something that will be limited to the four walls of your classroom. I'll not be giving you certain information that you are going to learn it in this particular semester and write an examination based on it, get evaluated and forget about it. No, it's a highly relevant topic. You are going to make use of it in the times to come. That is, the last topic that we have done was seminar presentation, wherein you must have, when you were preparing your assignment, you must have come across the presentation of paper, how to make a paper presentation. That is, paper presentation is an important part of your seminar organization. Now, in the coming semesters, when you will be making your paper presentation or when you will be writing articles for reputed research-based journals, you will be requiring this citation, the information that you are going to get in this particular lecture. Or when you will be making your presentations for both national or international seminar, you will require the information that you are going to gain through this particular lecture. So citation as such is going to help you in long run. It's not going to be limited to your classroom lecture and evaluation that will take place at the end of the semester, but rather it's going to be helpful throughout your career. So let me begin my lecture by talking about what is citation. A citation is a way of giving credit to individuals for their creative and intellectual works that you utilized to support your research. It can also be used to locate particular sources and combat plagiarism. There are many different ways of citing resources from your research. So as I told you, if you intend to make a paper presentation for a seminar, you will have to write a paper. Or if you want to get a paper published in a reputed journal, you will have to write an article for that. Now, while you are writing this particular article either for presentation or either to get it published in a journal, you will have to read some certain number of books on it. You will have to read some articles on it, or you will have to explore certain online resources on it. Now, while you are exploring these resources on the topic on which you intend to make a presentation or publish a paper, while you are writing the paper, you may borrow certain ideas from the books and articles or online resources that you have consulted. You may borrow certain facts and figures. You may borrow certain diagrams and images. Now, when you have written down the paper and this particular paper carries those quotations that you have borrowed from the sources, it may carry certain facts and figures, it may carry certain information, it may carry certain diagrams and images, you acknowledge it at the end of the paper. This acknowledgement class is known as citation. Okay, so in very short, if I tell you what is citation, citation is showing in a work that you took some words, ideas, figures, images from somewhere, from a published or from an unpublished work. Now, what are the various things that you should cite? So, you should cite a fact. For example, you are writing a paper on demographic distribution of population within India. That is, what is the population of Maharashtra or what is the population of Bihar and Rajasthan. Now, when you are preparing this paper on the demographic distribution of population, you use a particular data that in this particular year, this was the population in these particular areas, and in this particular year, this is the population in these areas. Now, you must cite the source from which you have taken this information. So, facts must be cited. The second thing that must be facts and figures must be cited. For example, you are working on a topic like biodiversity, and wherein you are going to talk about biodiversity hotspots. Now, as you all know, the British biologist Norman Mayers is the person who coined this word. That is biodiversity hotspot. you are consulting his original book from where you are taking the definition of biodiversity hotspot. So you are borrowing the word biodiversity hotspot from there. You are borrowing the idea of biodiversity hotspot. What I mean by biodiversity hotspot. So what is biodiversity hotspot? A place that is diverse in, that has a number or that is rich in biodiversity. At the same time, it has certain endangered species. Now this particular definition, you are borrowing it from a work written by Norman Mairs. So this is a particular fact that he coined this particular word. So when you are using it in your paper, you must quote it, you must cite it. So what are the things that we should cite? We should cite facts, we should cite figures, we should also cite ideas. So I told you, if you are talking about what is biodiversity hotspot, you are borrowing a definition from a particular book, you must cite it. Also, if you are not exactly borrowing lines from a text, but rather you are paraphrasing it, that is, you are changing it in your own words, but you are borrowing idea from a particular book, there too you must cite it. Okay? So you should cite all those informations that are not considered to be common. So that is citation. Now class, my next slide will talk about why at all should we cite certain things. If I have read a book, if I have read an article, if I have used an online resource and I have written a paper, why at all should I acknowledge it? Why at all should I prepare an entire list of the works that I have read, consulted and borrowed from? What is the reason? What makes citation important? So the next slide will talk about it. So why of it? Why citation at all is important? Citation has several important purposes. So the first important purpose of citation is to uphold intellectual honesty. That is to avoid plagiarism. The class, plagiarism today is considered to be a serious offense. Now, I'll try to explain it to you. What is plagiarism? Plagiarism is when you borrow another person's ideas or words and you do not acknowledge it. That is, you present it in a way as if the readers will think that they are your own ideas. And if you do it deliberately, that you have taken something from somewhere and you have not acknowledged it, or you do it inadvertently, whether it is done knowingly or unknowingly, it is considered to be a serious crime. It is such a serious crime that you may lose your job for it, you may lose your license for it, you may lose your enrollment in a particular course if it comes to the notice of the authorities that you have plagiarized certain information. That is, you have used certain information and you have not acknowledged the source. So to uphold intellectual honesty, because today class, ideas, information, they are considered to be intellectual property. So if I have coined a certain word, if I have coined a certain idea, if I have found out something, I have worked on certain thing and I have published a book on it, it belongs to me. That idea, that information belongs to me. It is my intellectual property. You cannot use it without my permission. You cannot use it without giving due acknowledgement to it. And if you do it, this is considered to be a serious offense. Now the second thing is, the second thing about why citation is important is to attribute ideas to the correct sources. So if there is a listener who is reading, who is listening to the presentation that I am making, or there is a reader who is reading the article that I have written and he wants to further work on it, okay? And if he wants to further work on it, through the citation that I have made, I am providing him a corpus of works that he can read in order to further work on that particular topic, okay? Or he or she wants to verify certain facts. You are making a presentation, you say, I read it in this particular book. He or she can go and read that book and verify whether the information that you are furnishing is right or not. So, if for your reader, this becomes a very convenient way to track down to the original work. So, that is the second reason why citation becomes important. And then let's come to the third reason why citation is important. It is to help the reader gauge the strength and validity of the material the author has used. That is, the readers or the listeners, the audience will come to know that this person has read these many books. The things that he is saying is based on certain facts. It's not it's not you must substantiate whatever you are saying. Okay, so it will give certain sort of strength to your work. It will give certain sort of content to your work. So the readers will come to know that you have read these many works and the content that is present there is valid. Okay, so these are the three important reasons why citation is important. Now, from what is citation, let's move on to how do we do citation. So, the one way of doing it is to prepare a bibliography. Now, what is a bibliography? A bibliography is a list of works on a subject or by an author that were used or consulted to write a research paper, book or article. It can also be referred to as a list of works cited. It is usually found at the end of a book, article or research paper. So, this particular definition gives us three important information. The first is what is bibliography. So, what is bibliography? You have prepared a paper that you want to get published or you want to present in a seminar, and you have read a certain number of books and articles for that. So all the works that you have consulted, you will prepare a list of it, and that is bibliography. Now, where do I find this? Is also known as works cited. Bibliography is also called works cited. And where do I find it? I find it at the end of my book. So this is class a kind of homework that I want you to do. Pick up any important book that you have in your syllabus. Look at the last pages of it. You will find bibliography there. Then what are the various informations that I must furnish in the bibliography? So if you have borrowed a certain quote from a book or a journal, you must mention the author's name. You must mention the title of the book. You must mention the article title. So if it's an article, you will mention the title of the article, the date of the publication, the place of publication, publisher, volume of the journal, magazine or encyclopedia, and page numbers. The second thing is, if you are borrowing it from a website, you will mention the name of the author or editor, the title of the website, the company of organization that owns it, and the URL and the date of access. Now, why is the date of access important for website? Because websites keep on updating the information that they have. So, the date on which you have accessed that information must be mentioned. The third important fact about bibliography is there are various formats in which I can arrange these information. That is the author's name, the title of the book, the year of publication, the publisher. There is a certain format that I may follow in order to furnish this information, and therefore there are various styles. These are known as citation styles. So there are three prominent citation styles. The first is APA, also known as American Psychological Association, which is used by students from the field of education, that is also researchers, and psychology and sciences. The next is MLA style, that is Modern Language Association style. It is used by the students and researchers in the field of humanities. And the third important style is the Chicago style. The class, I have given you examples in order to make you understand how you will write it. For example, in APA, the name of the writer is D. Boriston. Now, you will not write it as D. Boriston. When you are following the APA style, you will write Boriston, comma, D, full stop. The year of publication must be put within parentheses, 1992. The creators, A History of the Heroes of Imagination. This is the name of the book. It must be italicized, full stop. New York is the place of publication. Random House is the publishing house. That is the publisher. In MLA style, you will write the complete name, but again the surname will come first. So it is Bell Stewart. Next is the Martyr's Oath, the apprenticeship of a homegrown terrorist. You will underline the name of the work. Next is New York, the place of publication, Willie, the publisher, and the year of publication will come at the end. So the information as such is the same, but how you are going to arrange it, that is called the citation style. So APA will have its own way of arranging the information. MLA will have its own way of arranging the information. Chicago style will have its own way of arranging the information, and this is known as citation style. Now, also the other way of citing a work is footnotes or endnotes. Now, what is footnote? As the word itself signifies, footnote are notes placed at the bottom of a page. They cite references or comment on a designated part of the text above it. So what is footnote? You are reading a page wherein you are saying that biodiversity there are 14 or 15 biodiversity hotspots. Now, from where did you get this information that there are 14 biodiversity hotspots? So there you will give a number 1, or you will write A and in superscript, and that A will be written at the bottom of the page, and that will carry the source from where you have borrowed this information. Endnotes appear at the end of the document, that is at the end of the chapter. So that is all for today class, how to make citations. In case you have any query, you can always message me. Thank you.